This one more time. Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chocolate Beauty. We're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 17. So we're going to start probably doing these lives more often because it's become difficult to just sit here, shoot, edit the video, and then put it out there. It takes me a lot longer because I do everything myself. So we're going to start doing these lives. Okay, so the episode opens up where it left off last week. Everybody showed up to the Blaze restaurant, which is Candy and Todd's new restaurant that is actually, it's beautiful. I love the way that the restaurant looks. So, of course, everybody is uncomfortable, or the two people that or just so socially awkward during this whole entire time was Marlo and Portia, because Portia ended up leaving New Orleans early because of Portia throwing her underneath the bus. So now they're not on speaking terms. They're not friends anymore. It was good while it lasted, and I feel like at this point that it may be real, but I'm not sure. So once again, instead of just Marlo just leaving it alone, Marlo still tries to talk to Portia about her feelings and, like, you know, on their work on their relationship and talk about their friendship. Child, Portia is over it, Marlo. She doesn't want to talk to you. She is over it. She feels like you took a side, even though I do agree that you have every right to have a relationship with Kenya because of how the way she went about continuing a friendship with Kenya after Kenya humiliated you at your launch event. So I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's a lost cause. You apologizing. Like, girl, you just need to stop apologizing to Portia. I mean, at the end of the day, she did what she did. And if she slept with the stripper bowler or not, that's really not nobody's concern. Nobody cares about it. She's a grown woman. Nobody asks you what you do. Okay? The last time we talked about you and, you know, your affair was early on when you first came on. So I don't understand why there's such a fixation on making it a big deal about what's going on between the stripper Bolo and Portia. And now it's getting old. Like, we're over it. Okay. So after after Marlo tried to apologize, now Shamia, I don't even know that much about you, and I understand that you are Portia's friend, but the thing about it is like you telling, if you accusing Marlo of getting liposuction and saying that you know somebody who's her doctor and you were told that they had a surgical procedure and that she had liposuction. Girl, that's a HIPAA violation. She can sue you, she can sue the person who released that information, and she can sue the business for malpractice. So you putting that out there saying that the doctor told this person, or you know the doctor, girl, like, I need you to be quiet. There's certain things that you shouldn't be saying on national television, especially if she does decide to sue, or even these doctors could sue you for saying that slander. You cannot do that. Like, Shamia, you're doing too much for your friend. But at the end of the day, this is the same friend that up and left and had you deal with the women who are, none of them are your friends. None of them are your real friends. Your real friend is Portia. So the fact that you're going to say that Marlo had liposuction, okay, what if she did have liposuction? So what? I mean, her lying about somebody jumping on her back, her niece and her nephews jumping on her back, child. Everybody on that show was a liar. There, at some point of time, the only person that hasn't been proven to be a liar on that show is Candy. So everybody has lied about something to cover something, okay? So the fact that you want to bring up that she had liposuction, nobody cares, girl. Nobody. And Shamia, you're trying so hard. You're trying so hard. I don't even understand why you're trying so hard. Okay, so Drew brings up the relationship that Latoya allegedly has with this prophet called Prophet Lot, talking about she's ruining families, she's ruining lives, and you had to not allow Prophet Lot to baptize your child because of this rumors that's going around about him. Now, here's the thing about people like you, Drew, that I don't like. I don't like people who like to put people on blast. You're weaponizing the church, and I really can't stand it when somebody does that. What is your whole purpose? Like, what is your whole point? The fact that you're talking about she's ruining lives and he got a fiance and the baby. First of all, if he's a prophet, he shouldn't be having no baby and fiance. That should be his wife. So number one, he's already corrupt. So that made everything invalid that you said. Okay, so this prophet that you're talking about that wants to bless your baby and she's ruining families. Why are you even allowing somebody that had a child, a newborn baby out of wedlock and the fiance? If that's true, because we find out that, we find out later that a lot of the things that you have said was a lie. So what was the purpose of you putting her on blast like that? And the thing about it is, it made me think back to the episode with you talking about why she wasn't drinking. You already knew why she wasn't drinking because of the relationship that you have with your driver, and the driver has with the relationship that the driver has with Prophet Lot. So he knew what was going on with Toya. So you already knew that he was giving her spiritual guidance. Right? He was giving her spiritual guidance. And one of the things that he told her to do for 4 weeks is not to drink. And you already knew that. See, you can't, I don't like people who try to force people to admit their sins. Like, who are you? And then you're going to be using the church after that, trying to say that she's a Delilah spirit. Girl, shut up. You're gossiping. And you're weaponizing the church. That's blasphemy. You're using the church to try to bring somebody down. You're using the church for pure wickedness. Like, you're really getting on my nerves with this. Oh, she made it a big deal. He can't christen my daughter. Child, what your child looks like? That child looks like that child looks like they're 3 years old or something. 3 or 4 years old. Why are you waiting now to baptize your child? I don't understand. And then you're going to use the prophet as a storyline? Like, I just don't get it. Like, you're using the church, the prophet, his relationship, you putting him on blast. And then you're putting another woman on blast. You're talking about, well, she's married and he is in a whole relationship and he got a fiance and a child, and you broke up their home. Now they're split up and there's a whole bunch of controversy and scandal that's going on in the church. Even if that's true, that's none of your business. And when you decided to not use him to christen your child, you should have moved on. You're acting as if this prophet is supposed to be the only prophet that can christen your daughter. And you talk about you had a relationship and a friendship with him for years. So you're willing to throw him underneath the bus for what? So let me get off of that, because we're going to talk more about this prophet, because a whole bunch of stuff happened when Portia and Cynthia had their pop-up shop. And I'm gonna read that pop-up shop real quick, because I just thought that it was like I thought that you were really trying to help the community, Cynthia and Portia. I thought that was the intent of your pop-up shop. So anyway, let's talk about the pop-up shop. So when they go to the pop-up shop, who do we see? We have Kenya's business. We have Portia's business. We have Cynthia's business. All these reality television stars and famous people were there. I didn't see anybody who was unknown. Maybe you had people sprinkled out through the pop-up shop, but it was mostly rich people. It was mostly well-off people with businesses that you did this pop-up shop for. So you didn't do it for your community. You didn't do it to help those who are really struggling. You really used it for people who are rich that are struggling. So you can, I was so mad because I was like giving you so much props. I was giving Cynthia and Portia so much props about doing this pop-up shop. It was a good thing that they were going to try to do for the community. And all I see is rich people that has stores and products. And the other women that sell their products. First of all, if you want to be fair, hi, welcome everybody that's in the room. I didn't even notice that you guys were here. Say something to me in the chat. Hello, 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 hello. But it was quite odd to me that the housewives will actually be selling their products at this event because they're making money from doing the show. So why is it that you're doing a pop-up shop that's supposed to be for the community and you guys are using this as an opportunity to promote yourselves and to promote your product? Yes, everybody's having a hard time, but you ain't struggling like everybody else. You should have given that spot to another business owner. So I was quite annoyed and quite upset when this pop-up shop seemed to be more promotion on people who are already well off. Hey, thank you. So that was my whole issue with you doing this pop-up shop. And you were saying that it was for the community. No, it was for your rich friends who are struggling. Just say that. Don't act as if you're doing something for the city of Georgia. You didn't do it for anybody but for the people that you knew that were struggling. And I'm not saying that they're not deserving of getting help. What I'm saying is that there's somebody else that's struggling a lot harder than them, that are business owners that can't be seen. But you decided that you wanted to take up space. Oh, and she made it this big thing that Cynthia was like, I'm gonna put my stuff up here, but I just want to make sure that I don't have more room than everybody else. I want to share it equally. No, sweetheart, you shouldn't have had no space at all. You're already on a hit reality television show. Why are you selling your products? Give that spot to another person who is struggling in your city. You're going to have Portia and Cynthia. This was your event. And this was something that you were supposed to be doing for others. This is how the way that you guys presented it to everybody. The fact that you guys had your own personal stuff being sold there was messed up. You did it for yourself. You didn't do it for anybody else but for yourself. You wanted to put a little more extra dollars in your pocket. You wanted to help your rich friends. I can't stand when people try to do something like, I'm going to do this thing for the community, but at the same time, I'm going to make money off of it and I already have income. Times is hard for everybody. We all know that, but you are making money because you are on a popular show. You have a peach, which means is that you're going to be generating some type of income. And I don't care if you're looking at it like, well, because my products isn't selling, I had to cut down on a few things. There's some people who don't have no type of income at all. At least you had something coming in. My goodness, help the next man. Do what you said that you were going to do. And I felt like you went about it the wrong way. And you actually pulled the wool over people's eyes. So that pop-up shop, I was so excited that they were doing that because I know how pop-up shops are and I know how successful it can be. But the fact that you promoted something for other business owners and put your own business in there and put Portia's business in there. You could have did another event for your friends and they still would have came and support. But you want to put yourself ahead of others because that's the first event that you did. So you made sure you included yourself in that. And that wasn't cool. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. And I will never, ever big you up or give you props whenever you're trying to do something for the community. Because now I know and now I see that you have to have some type of personal gain in it. If you're not doing something out of the kindness of your heart, if you can't take a step back and truly help those who are in need, then you don't need to, nobody needs to promote you at all. So anyway, they go to the pop-up shop. Latoya and her hypocritical self, just a flat out church mother hypocrite, the Church of God in Georgia Christ. I just, like she gets on my nerves. So she decides to come in and then tell all the women, once again announce it that, to the women that didn't know about the alleged rumor that Latoya was in a relationship with this prophet, Lot. Her so-called prophet that was supposed to be doing her christening, and now she can't find no other people to do a christening, so she want to put Latoya on blast. Listen, all of you, like, anyway, so she goes and she tells Candy, and of course, everybody, one thing I can give Candy, okay, she is probably the most honest person out of all of the women there, right? Candy is not, you're not going to tell something like that to Candy and she not tell the person that you said it to, or said it about. That's when I give it to her. She will come to you and be like, listen, I don't want to be a part of this, but this is what was said about you, and I'm just going to leave it right here. So after she tells Candy about this rumor and that she's ruining homes and all this other stuff, Latoya comes in, Candy tells Latoya, and it became this whole thing where she was just calling her all types of names. Calling her a Delilah, saying that she's ruining families, saying that she's ruining relationships. She ruined the relationship that she had with this prophet because she's allegedly sleeping with him. And then she said that Latoya's mom called her and told her that Latoya bought this man a room. Why is Latoya's mother calling you about anything? You don't get along. I don't believe that. Like, why would her mom call you to tell you that her daughter bought this man a room? And mind you, this is a man. Wasn't it ridiculous? It was ridiculous. Now, mind you, this is a man that's been a part of your life for years. For years. So instead of just looking at the integrity of that man, you go and say, well, this is what she's doing and this is true. It's like, I don't even know, like, you're just warped in a whole nother planet, Drew. I don't understand. Like, Latoya, I think that Latoya's career on reality television show, on reality TV, period, is a wrap. I think it's a wrap because she just, there's something about her. She just plays the bad guy too wickedly. I hope that makes sense. She plays the bad guy too wickedly. She be doing crazy stuff, saying crazy things out of her mouth. So I think that she is done. But I don't understand why it even matters to you what actually Latoya is doing. If Latoya is married and she's still living with her husband, let them figure that out. And if this pastor has a baby with a fiance but don't have a wife, but you want to bring that up. So anyway, I'm going to move on from that because it just really bothered me. Because, I mean, like, the thing that's really sad is, like, what Drew was doing on tonight's episode. I've actually seen it in the church. I've actually witnessed people finding out, going through counseling sessions, and then they go to church, and then they find out that their counseling session became now the gossip of the church. So that's why I have such a huge problem with Drew and what she's doing. And it's just like, you know, it's very hard for other Christians to be like, that's not how we are. And we already are painted in a bad picture, and you're doing the very thing that a lot of people went through inside the church. And now you're putting it on national television. It's talking about you're a Christian. Like, people like you are sickening, and I'm ashamed to be associated with you. Just make sure that when we get to heaven, that you're on the other side. I don't want to know you. So anyway, let's move on from that. So they go to So there was another scene where Drew was talking to the women, and she actually called Pastor Lot. Um, Very much so. Crazy. So, Latoya calls Pastor Lot. Now, Pastor Lot can be lying, or Prophet Lot can be lying about his relationship with Latoya. But the thing about it is like he said, he's not engaged. He was never engaged. He was engaged 3 years ago. So he doesn't even know what the heck Drew is even talking about. So the fact that this man, she got to call him on the phone and say, hey, is this true? Is that true? Is this true? That's not true. He shot down everything that Drew said. And I think the reason why Drew is using him is because they may have had a private falling out. So now she's willing to throw him underneath the bus, give him a bad rap, and at the same time, try to take down Latoya. She killed two birds with one stone. Because, you can't tell me that it's not personal. That you will willingly put this prophet and talk about this prophet on a public platform, knowing that millions of people view it, even people inside the church view it. That can cause him not to be able to be invited out to speak or to be part of any engagements inside the church. So to me, like what you did, Drew, was not only attack Drew, but you also attacked the prophet. And I think it's personal because the prophet said that your driver was somebody who he was close to, got upset that he had a relationship with the driver. So that's the reason why there's all these issues coming up. And I'm like, I'm tired of this driver. Like, why is this driver even talking about Drew or anybody else? Like, why are you talking about it? Like, why are you talking about Latoya? And why are you going back and telling Drew anything? This is super duper annoying. Oh, and this happened at Kenya's breast reduction party. So, that pretty much wraps up the episode. I'm getting weary of Drew. Latoya is a scatterbrain. We already know that. I call her Miss Scatterbrain. Okay, that's nothing surprising, nothing new. I hope you guys can still see me. And I hope this is still recording. But we all know that Latoya is scatterbrain. Okay, we all know that. But Drew is weaponizing the church. She's using what she knows about the prophet and Latoya as arsenal. This alleged rumor as arsenal. Talking about she's paying for him to go to rooms. Even if that were true. Even if we find out that this is true, that Drew was in a relationship with the prophet, whatever. I know that Drew has left her husband and moved on in the relationship, but I dislike her character so much that I refuse to actually follow what she's doing, on social media. So I don't follow her. I don't follow Drew either. But I'm completely just turned off by the way that she's just weaponizing this information in this church. It's like, if you have a personal issue with this prophet and he had a falling out with your driver and you're close with your driver and he was close with your driver, and then you decide that you want to come on national television and throw him and Latoya underneath the bus, that's something that you're going to have to work inside. There's something broken in you for you to be comfortable with doing that, because that's a very disheartening thing to go through. You go to the church, because the church is a hospital. It's where you go to get spiritually healed. This is where you lay down your burdens. This is where you go and you allow the Lord to work on your heart and to work on your spirit man. And to work on whatever he needs to work on is there for you to get the good word, to get nourishment, spiritual nourishment. And you want to weaponize the church for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, for a prophet that you held in high regard that was having premarital sex. Because if he has a baby without a wife, he was having premarital sex. So he was already crooked in the sense, okay? Like when you are held at a certain esteem, you're supposed to be, there's certain things that you shouldn't be associated with. And she used the fact that he had a baby as a weapon as well to say, hey, I'm going to say that he got a newborn baby to prove that, it is possible that he's having sex with Latoya. She's very self-righteous and I'm sick of her. I'm sick of her. I'm sick of the way that she is going about trying to assassinate Latoya. And it's like so mind-boggling because let's really talk about it. You don't have to do all of that to destroy or annihilate Latoya. You can allow her to self-destruct herself. She does a very good job at self-destructive behavior. So there's no need for you to add on to Latoya's problems. She already created the problems for herself. She's already got her own personal demons that makes her not likable to the viewers. So the fact that you're trying to add on to whatever is going on with her and trying to take the spotlight off of your marriage. That's what I think that is. Because, Latoya is infamous for dragging you and your husband. She doesn't care about, she's already set up in her mind that she's done with her relationship, even though she's married on the show. But Latoya don't need no help to ruin her reputation. Her reputation is already gone. It's put up in smoke. And I'm going to do a live video on Latoya because somebody has sent me a link and I watched probably about 2 minutes of it. And she was talking about she got pregnant by her husband and it was an alcohol induced night and she doesn't remember anything. Child, that girl is a hot mess. Her publicly accusing her of her ex-husband of rape. Trust me, Drew, you do not have to help her. Okay? And that's a serious allegation. It's a serious allegation. And if it's true, her husband needs to go to jail. But she got a lot of things going on with her alone. She don't need no help. So, all right, you guys, thank you for watching my latest recap on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 13, Episode 17. Hopefully, I'll see you soon. Ciao. Oh, and I'm going to be doing a live video on Married to Medicine. I'm going to do that. What time is it? I'm going to do that at 5:15. So be back with me at 5:15. I'll see you guys later. I'll talk to y'all. Bye.